Thank you for subscribing to the Chippy Tour. It means a great deal. For those who haven't subscribed yet, only take you a second to hit that subscribe button. Remember, I'm out there to support and promote our traditional fish and chip shops all over the country, and I need your help, so hit that subscribe button. So okay, I've been doing a little bit of research into the history of fish and chips and where it all started. Where was the first fish and chips put together? Well, I believe it was behind me. But we're going to talk about the first time fish and chips came together, who did that, and we're going to talk about the oldest fish and chip shop still selling fish and chips to this day. It's incredibly different now, but we're going to eat some of that food in a little bit and see if they can still make fish and chips. So this is a highly contentious issue, obviously, with London and Lancashire both claiming the top spots. So it was originally thought that Joseph Malin was a young boy, about 13 years old, who started selling fried chips from his home to earn a little bit of extra money for the family who were struggling. And it wasn't long after that he actually managed to open a shop. And we're talking 1860 when he was selling the chips, or believed to have been selling the chips, and 1863 when he actually opened a shop. So, you know, he wasn't doing bad, was he? So, again, we can only go off what people have said. Now, unfortunately, there's nothing set in stone. And that's always a problem, isn't it? You know, if we had real historical data that could back everything up, we'd be laughing with everything, wouldn't we? But that's not always the case. And then around the same time, John Lees was believed to have been selling fried fish from a hut in Mossley in Ashton-under-Lyne. So we're talking about two different people selling two different parts of our much-loved fish and chips. They came together through John Lees, it's believed. So, you know, as soon as those sort of things started taking off, as soon as the fish and chips came together, then that's it. Everybody dives on it. And that's what basically happened. And before you knew it, there was tens of thousands of fish and chip shops. But it was cheap. It was a cheap meal to fill up the workers, the miners, whoever else. And it was a working class meal considered. So that's what it was believed. But now there's new data suggesting, I know it's crazy, isn't it? Suggesting that Malin's shop, or Malin, Joseph Malin, only sold fried fish, not fried chips. He only sold fried fish. And it was Tommyfield Market in Oldham that sold, or someone there sold the chips. And it was John Lee who put the fish and chips together. So as far as everybody is aware, who's aware, it was John Lees who put the fish and chips together. He's the father of fish and chips. And that shop is still going today. It's changed hands so many times, and you're not going to believe what it is now, but it's still serving fish and chips. It's all pretty confusing, isn't it? So, if John Lees loses the title at some point through some new data, new historical data, loses the title as the oldest fish and chip shop, it'll probably still keep the title as the longest serving fish and chip shop. Maybe. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. Let's have some of this food. So this is what the Chippy is now. Man's Wok, an oriental takeaway and fish and chip shop. So that was a bit of a surprise when I was going through the history. I needed to get up there and have a little look at it. And I know what you're saying, where someone will say, yeah, but it's now a Chinese, it's now an oriental food, but it's not actually just that. Because as you'll see in a minute, it's got some incredible traditional fish and chip shop fare. And some of them you might say, well, yeah, isn't it like having Trigger's brush?
So what exactly is your award for?
For saving the council money. And I've had the same broom for the last 20 years. 20 years. That's a long time, Dave.
Yeah? Well, that's 2 decades, isn't it?
I wouldn't go that far, but I look after it well. We have an old saying that's been handed down by generations of road sweepers. Look after your broom.
And your broom will look after
No, Dave, it's just look after your broom. This old broom has had 17 new heads and 14 new handles in its time.
Whatever else they serve, they're serving fish and chips. And that's pretty incredible when you think about it, from 1863. We got salt and pepper chips. Okay, let's have a little look-see. Yeah, they're quite nice. I think I'd have liked a little bit more veg going on around it as well, but they've got a nice taste to them. And when you walk in there, it's a chippy. At the back of the restaurant, you've got the chef, and you can see what they're cooking, which is nice. It's always nice to do. So you've got the flames coming up from the pans and things, and it's intentional. In case you're concerned. Place is spotless. Staff are nice and friendly, helpful. It's a wonderful little chippy. Oh, let's have a look at this. It's cod. Let me get a nice picture of that. I'll put this rubbish in this bag here. Yeah, it's just a standard cod and chips. Let's break a little bit off. It's cold, it's getting dark. I'm trying to catch the light. It took us 2 hours to get here from Warrington. You know what? That is sensational. And look at that. It's a really decent sized piece of cod. We've got ourselves some of their gravy. It's red hot. And weirdly, although it's gravy, I can taste something oriental about it. Let's try these chips that aren't salt and peppered. You know what? They're good chips. You know, I appreciate it's not what you would consider your traditional chippy and what I usually look at. But it's fabulous. It really is. And really, I came to look at the history of the first fish and chips, and including how it is now. And I'm thrilled that they're continuing, look at that, with the fish and chips. And they're doing such a great job of it. Absolutely delicious. I forgot what this is. Mushy peas. It's a wide tub. And I'm telling you, I bet they make these themselves as well. I'd say they do. So far, so good. We're talking about some real chippy fare here. I got some potato scallops. You know, if you're going to go to a Chinese chippy, and I tell you what, I've had some of the best fish from Chinese chippies. I really have. Now look at these. Potato scallops, just the right thickness. And freshness, tenderness. I'm going to go for a little bit more salt, because I do like my salt on my scallops. Every single time. If I wasn't having gravy, I'd still get gravy on my shirt. Okay, let's wrap these up. They're delicious. Actually, I'll just have a bit more of one of these. I'm going to have a scoop of peas on it. Look at that. Oh yeah, getting dark by the second. As we go into winter, I've got rechargeable lights, battery lights on stands. I mean, they're designed for studios. I got them originally when I set up the office for this purpose. But I'll be able to bring them out, place them in the right place just to give us a bit more light. And last but not least, we've got, we're on the salt and pepper theme, and believe it or not, In a lot of our chippies, you'll find salt and pepper ribs. I don't know what it is, even if there's no Oriental chefs, Chinese chefs, whatever. That is delicious. Back to the computer, look at a low review, somewhere in between, 5-star, and I'll write mine. I always do that. It gives a varied idea of what people are thinking. Also gives the shop owner an opportunity to respond to those, to try to correct anything that someone's not so happy about. So as you can see by that, I was impressed. And the salt and pepper chips, at first, it wasn't until I got in the truck and continued to eat some of those salt and pepper chips that the heat was coming through. There was enough salt and pepper on there after all, and they were actually quite delicious. Still could have done with a little bit more veg, I think, you know, just to pad it out a little bit. But no, really nice. Let's have a look at some reviews. 1 star. Wrong food sent in an order after waiting 1 hour 45 minutes for a down the road delivery. Food was awful. 5 star. Thoroughly enjoyed the food. Cash only, which isn't always ideal, but there is a cash machine not too far away. I can't wait to work my way through the menu. Mine. 4 star. I really enjoyed it. And, you know, I recommend anyone in the area to get in there and try some of the English food that's in there. And, English food, the fish and chips and the chippy fare that's in there. I visited Manswalk to explore the birthplace of fish and chips dating back to 1863 and was pleasantly surprised to find that the new owners continue to serve excellent chippy fare. The shop was spotless and the staff were welcoming and courteous. It was also lovely to see the cooking in action behind the counter. It was the Chinese cooking, or the Oriental cooking, was at the back, and you could see it above the range. It was built up, so it was nice to see all the pans and everything going on. It's always nice, that, isn't it? Conveniently, there's a large pay and display car park across the road, and Mossley is a charming town. The battered cod was a standout, thick, fresh, and perfectly cooked in a light, crispy batter. The chips were just the right thickness and full of flavour. While the salt and pepper chips were enjoyable, a few more salt and pepper vegetables would have elevated them further. The salt and pepper ribs were wonderfully tender. To round it all off, the gravy, mushy peas, and potato fritters were all spot on. Cooking in oil, hygiene rating 5, cash only, fish reviewed, cod. Fabulous. See you on the next one. If you like this video, subscribe, share it, like it, hit the notification bell, and if you have any recommendations in your area, put them in the comments. Thank you.